Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli, back with another review video, and that's right, of course, continuing on, reviewing the Doctor Who specials for Doctor Who's 60th. Now, we've come to the third and final Doctor Who special for its 60th. Yeah, because it's hard to believe, because with David Tennant coming back for just only 3 Doctor Who stories, and, you know, those being specials, and for its 60th, just 3. 3. And clearly, and no doubt about it, because, you know, as they were coming out, and, well, by the first and the second, you know, everybody just dreading the third and final one, and knowing that this would be the last time David Tennant would be the Doctor. It just, yeah. But little did they know what was going to happen in the third and final Doctor Who special for its 60th. A little twist, and with the regeneration, like, we already saw a couple of clips and a couple of sneak peeks, and so on, where we saw a shot of him about to regenerate, and and the first clip of seeing the new Doctor, and, well, again, just like, what was gonna happen? Like, well, he was just gonna regenerate to the next, and yeah. But little did we know what to expect. So yes, the third and final Doctor Who special for its 60th, which being the Giggle. Yes, the Giggle. What a title that is, and with what goes on in this Doctor Who story. Yeah, because basically, the Giggle marks the returning appearance of one of the Doctor's oldest foes. Kind of like, you know, right there next to the Master, those kind of enemies that he's come face-to-face with. Instead of your generic, you know, fights between, like, say, the Daleks and the Cybermen. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And this one old foe of the Doctor, who we had never seen in quite a while, not seen, I should say, for so many years. And the last time this enemy of the Doctor made an appearance was, well, during the adventures of the first Doctor, William Hartnell. And that was it. And fast forward many years later, and for its 60th, and you know what? It seemed appropriate, and for what Russell T Davies had in store for the 3 anniversary specials, especially for the third and final one, which being the Giggle. This would mark the returning appearance of the Toymaker. Yeah, and honestly, I didn't really know that much about the Toymaker when it was announced that Neil Patrick Harris would be appearing in it, and he would be playing, obviously, and judging by some of the first look photos of him appearing in Doctor Who, he would be playing the main antagonist, and it was later revealed what the name of his character's name would be, the antagonist, which being the Toymaker. And it didn't take me that long to do some research, and now I know, of course, who the Toymaker is, and not to mention who the original actor was that played the Toymaker. Yeah. But enough said. As always, read the description / the story. The giggle of a mysterious puppet is driving the human race insane. When the Doctor discovers the return of the terrifying Toymaker, he faces a fight he can never win. Okay, so the third and final Doctor Who special for its 60th. The special itself. Well, because, just, yeah, what the third and final Doctor Who special had in store, and with the story and such, again, what Russell T Davies brought to the 3 Doctor Who specials, and again, because this was his triumphant return as the showrunner. And, you know, again, Russell T Davies, the man who is responsible for bringing Doctor Who back. Yeah. So it first takes place in Soho, yeah, I think I'm saying that right, in 1925, and this guy walking into this toy shop, and, well, thus we get the introduction of the toy maker, and being played by the one and only Neil Patrick Harris. And nice to see that Neil Patrick Harris getting to be a part of the Doctor Who franchise. And not to mention, Neil Patrick Harris did work with Russell T Davies on a different project, and this was obviously before Russell T Davies came back as showrunner for Doctor Who. It was this, like, mini-series or something like that. Well, if I'll put a text, so, you know, the name of the show that Neil Patrick Harris was a part of, that was worked on by Russell T Davies. But anyways, so this one customer coming in, and he has his eyes sight on this puppet, this man puppet, and the toy maker, and just the accent he has, and, you know, by taking it away, the wife and the children would be upset, yeah, and, yeah, and, well, still, because, you know, he takes the dummy, and, you know, the reason being for buying this, this dummy is, for, his boss. This guy's an employee of John Logie Baird, if I'm saying the last two words right, and which was an actual person. He was responsible for the start and creation of television and so on, yeah. And he is portrayed and played by John McKay. I think, yeah, I might be saying the last name right. Again, you know me sometimes. So he buys the doll, and basically, this dummy, it's called, what was it called again? It was, yeah, Stooky Bill. That's the name of the dummy. And Stooky Bill, supposedly, and, well, in Doctor Who, being the first ever figure and whatever it is on television, to be on television on screen. And, yeah, by experimenting it, and it seems to go pretty well, up until, well, it catches fire. And even John is wondering, like, imagine if, you know, if it was able to talk, actually able to hear it on the television. And we get this, we start hearing this giggle and such, and, well, hence the title. And we get our opening credits, of course, and, well, present day, right where we left off in the second Doctor Who special, because everybody just going mad and insane, and we find out a little bit later what is causing all this madness in London, and if not, the entire world, and how we do get a little glimpse of Wilfred Mott in his wheelchair. And like I said when I reviewed the second Doctor Who special, in that, because the last time that the late Bernard Cribbins would portray and play Wilfred, you know, and yeah, that would be it. And he was well enough to, you know, appear in one of the specials, and that, you know, Wilfred was in consideration to appear some more in the third Doctor Who special, but because Bernard Cribbins was not really well enough, and with how much he could do to return as Wilfred, yeah, it's really a shame. It's really a shame. And once again, may he rest in peace. The one and only Wilfred Mott. Yeah. But it's nice to see how they still incorporate him in, even though we don't see him on screen. We just see a little glimpse of him, a body double as Wilfred, and, you know, how they wrote Wilfred in the third special. And, yeah, because the Doctor and Donna just puzzled on what's going on, and the Doctor even confronting one guy, claiming that he owns the road and such because he paid his taxes, and how we do see on the streets, well, it's the toy maker, and he's a dancer, like in a tuxedo and a top hat, even dancing with the Doctor, and little does the Doctor at first know and realize who it is, and it's starting to come to him when he gets a good look at his face and such. And sure enough, the unit steps in, good old unit, and helps out the Doctor, Donna, and Wilfred, and get them the hell out of there. It's true, you know, pardon my French, but it's true, because, you know, so much madness going on in London right now, the streets of London, I should say. And so, at the unit headquarters, which, yeah, I can't remember, because this might be it may or may not be the first time we see this unit tower that almost looks like the Avengers Tower, you know? It almost looks like it. Maybe that's what I want to assume it was their little nod to the Avengers Tower, I guess, but, you know. And once again, we get the appearance of Shirley, and we once again see good old Kate Lepridge Stewart, the daughter of the Brigadier. Yeah, and Kate, once again, being played by Gemma Redgrave. And her approach to the 14th Doctor, I was thinking at first, and if anybody else thought of the same thing too, like, I don't know, and with the look on her face and how she was approaching the Doctor, what, was she gonna slap him in the face or something? You know. But no, she just gave him a hug, and, well, because, you know, it's good to always have the Doctor in any situation, but something like this that they've never dealt with, you know, taking on humans, you know, because the unit always taking on aliens, but nothing like this. This is the first time something like this is happening. And with what they don't know, they don't realize what's going on at first. And inside the tower, we get the appearance of another familiar face, and this is the triumphant return of Melaine Bush, being played by Bonnie Landford, one of the Doctor's old companions. Melanie, Melanie. Yeah, Melanie, I got that right, sorry. I mispronounced her name. Melanie Bush. Melanie Bush. She was the companion of the, I think, yeah, it was the 5th Doctor, I'm pretty sure. I think, yeah, like from the 6th and 7th, because as I recall, because, yeah, she was with the 6th Doctor and up to the 7th Doctor until she, you know, she disembarked, and thus Ace stepping in, you know, having adventures with the 7th Doctor. Yeah, so it's good to see her again, and doesn't take too long for her meeting one of the Doctor's, you know, new companions, another redhead companion. That was funny. Yeah, so they're just trying to figure out what the heck is going on, you know, with what's driving them mad and such. And there's even an alien being that's helping out the unit called the Vlanks, if I'm saying the name of that alien right. The body performance of the Vlanks, I think it's the Vinks, just whichever which, you know. The body performance of that alien was played by Adian Cook. I think it's Adian Cook, yeah. And the voice was good old Nicholas Briggs. You know, it was like one of the prime staples of Doctor Who, doing alien and creature voices, most notably the Daleks, the Cybermen, and the Jadoon. Yeah, because he's done the voice of the Jadoon whenever the Jadoon is needed, you know, because the Rhino Police Force, one of my favorites, so... So this alien helping them out, and, well, because they start to, like, do the math and such. However, because with, you know, how are the members of the unit not losing their minds too? Well, that's because they created this device to help them, you know, not go crazy and so on. It's called the ZDX, the ZDX, I think, yeah, that's how you say it. And basically, the ZDX was a device invented by the Vinks for the purpose of resisting the toy maker's influence over humanity, and, well, because of having them just not preventing them to go nuts and such. And thus, you know, they're wearing them, all except, of course, for the Doctor and Donna. They seem to be perfectly fine not wearing those. Even Melanie, although she did put one on just in case. There's a little demonstration because Kate demonstrates by turning it off, and, well, it doesn't take her too long to go insane and just accusing everybody, you know, you trust this alien with 2 hearts, and just kind of insulting. She at one point insults Shirley and says and comments on, you know, Melanie and Donna. And of course, you know, it's not that she's not intentionally doing this. It's the madness and such. And of course they'd be well aware of it. And of course, you know, by her taking it off, but, you know, the unit two unit soldiers hold her down and put it back on, and she does feel guilty and sorry, but there's no need for an apology because they understand completely. They do. But, I mean, for Kate, understandable. It's, you know, doesn't hurt to still apologize, just to be sure. Yeah. And so again, they're trying to figure out the math and such on what is the source, what is the cause. And Donna, of course, is helping out, and she starts to figure it out, and by writing it on paper, like a code and such. And Melanie cracks the code. It's like musical notes, like la 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 la, but actually it turns out it's not singing, it's giggling. How this certain type of giggling, how it is, and that's the cause of humanity just going insane. And the Doctor also discovers something else, which they discover that this all started back in 1925 in Soho. Yeah, I think I am pronouncing that right. But and the Doctor discovers basically on every screen, no matter what, whether if it's a phone, a tablet, a computer, a TV screen, any screen, what's hiding under those screens, well, is the first ever footage for the creation of television, which being Tukey Bill, and with that giggling, because yeah, that's what it is, and and everybody's just terrified by the footage, and when, you know, the Doctor uses his screwdriver to reveal that footage, and by discovering that this all started in 1925, well, the Doctor, of course, is gonna time travel back to 1925, and of course Donna accompanying him to 1925, and thus they make their destination. Also, want to mention some of the other characters we get in this special. There is, let me see, because I think, yeah, there was Colonel Byriam, if I'm saying the name right, being played by Alexander Dervent. I hope I'm saying the last name right. Again, you know me sometimes. Yeah, and there's also Tritney Wells being played by Lachelle Carl, if I'm getting the first name right. But yeah, so to 1925, where the Doctor and Donna make their destination to confront and to discover and to find out, of course, you know, with this source and how it all began with the Giggle and such, and with this dummy, Tukey Bill. And, well, of course, they come up to the toy shop. But right before they do, because still, the Doctor and Donna going on, especially Donna, because going on about, you know, with him having that face once again, and also because the Doctor, you know, never taking a break, because, you know, every single time, and, you know, just always busy doing something, and yeah, because that's what the Doctor has done all his life, and how very later on it leads up to more of that, and well, and this also has to do with the Doctor's regeneration, but until we get to that. So when they approach the toy shop, well, the Doctor can see through the window the toy maker, and thus the Doctor coming face to face with the toy maker after all these years, Donna meeting the toy maker for the first time, and the toy maker just... The dialogue for the toy maker in this, and Neil Patrick Harris's performance as the toy maker, oh, just fantastic. Just fantastic. And the many times, just, like, the toy maker changing his accent from British to German, it's so cool, and it's perfect. And the toy maker going on, like, at first, going on about the first ever game, which being the ball, and talking about all these other stuff about games and toys and such, you know. And, well, it's all coming back to him, you know, more. The Doctor realizing that it's the toy maker, after all these years, and we get, you know, flashing archival shots of, you know, the toy maker and the original / the first Doctor, William Hartnell. And the first actor to play / portray the toy maker was the late legendary Michael Gough. And years later, he would go on to play Alfred Pennyworth in the Batman films from Tim Burton and Joel Schumacher. Yeah, that's him. So, and I didn't know that, because, yeah, Alfred Pennyworth played an old foe / arch enemy of the Doctor. That's insane when you think about it. And yeah, because the Doctor, he can sense that, well, because they're in danger. And even Donna, because even the Doctor, you know, telling Donna to go back to the TARDIS, and, you know, he never said that to Donna, and if he did or did not say that to any of his past companions. And the Toymaker assuring Donna that, you know, he is for real, like, he is very serious on that. But of course, the Donna is going to stay with the Doctor no matter what, with this situation right now. And, you know, they do follow him, and then, because, you know, when they enter into another room, but basically they're just trapped and stuck in, like, I want to say, like, it's like the Toymaker's own labyrinth, don't you think? Like, you know, endless rooms, and you just never know, because entering into one room, and it could be something different, and so on, and if you try to go back, yeah, that kind of stuff. And even Donna commenting, like, if, like, the Toymaker has his own TARDIS, and, yeah, the Doctor's comment on that. And, you know, the Doctor, at one point saying to Donna, and I remember this being in one of the trailers for the 3 anniversary specials, that the Doctor told Donna that he might not be able to save her this time. But, you know, Donna assuring him and telling him that, you know, well, you know, I'm gonna be the one saving you. So, and he did chuckle at that. And it doesn't take too long for them to be separated again. So, God, the many times that's happened in Doctor Who, when it's like, no matter what, and how the situation is, sometimes the Doctor and whichever companion it is would sometimes get separated. It never fails. And that's, well, I mean, there's no denying that's one of the main things when it comes to Doctor Who, and with, you know, the companions that tag along with him, they're always bound to, at one point, get separated and such. Never fails. Not that I'm really complaining, but I'm just saying. So, yeah, the different rooms that the Doctor and Donna go through, like the Doctor coming into one room where we see the employer of John, who bought the doll, Tukey Bill, and how he's in this sack, and the Doctor helping him, you know, get out of the sack, but he collapses, and basically, all except for his head, his body being wooden. He's become, like, you know, a stringed wooden puppet, and the Master coming out of this, you know, he's in this, up top the ceiling, he's huge, controlling the puppet, even at one point, because when the Doctor looks back at the dummy, you know, the half dummy and such, it's him. It's the Doctor's face. You know, one of the Toymaker's illusions, I guess you could say. And for Donna, well, she enters in one room where she stumbles upon the Tootie family, you know, the wooden dummies and such, and how Mrs. Tootie grieving over the loss of her wooden husband, Bill, and even the children grieving for their daddy, and how the children start to attack Donna. But Donna, being a badass, you know, she takes care of them, well, especially Mrs. Tootie, except for the children, because, yeah, just basically ripping apart Mrs. Tootie and throwing her and such, and scaring off the little wooden kids. And after that, well, Donna and the Doctor are reunited, but doesn't take too long for the Toymaker to pull up something else out of his sleeve, and basically, he tells them that, you know, the show is about to begin, and he puts on a little marionette show, going through a couple of the Doctor's past companions, you know, and before he was reunited with Donna, from Amy Pond, Clara, and Bill Potts. No relation to Tootie Bill, however, the Toymaker said it. And basically talking about those three companions and how all three of them died. But the Doctor, he corrects the Toymaker that they did survive. And, I mean, for Amy, because, well, yeah, she did, but she did die of old age. And if you remember, in that episode of Doctor Who in early season 7, The Angels Take Manhattan, she did eventually die along with Rory because of that tombstone. And Clara, because a part of her did survive and such, like a second chance of life or whatever. And for Bill, well, because she survived, her conscience survived, according to the Doctor. And as we saw in those final episodes of those three companions, how they did survive. And by each of them, and the Toymaker's comment after what the Doctor said, addressing the Toymaker that they survived, and it was bound to happen. Him speaking in an American accent, it was bound to happen. Because we knew right away, because he was speaking in different, different accents. Yeah, different accents. And it was bound to happen. Him speaking in an American accent by saying, well, that's all right then. And that was good. And then, well, the Doctor, he challenges the Toymaker into a game and such. And, well, the Toymaker, there's nothing he can do about that. He has to accept the challenge. And basically, it's a card game. And fun fact, because if you know Neil Patrick Harris, he's a magician. He's an amateur magician, in a good way, of course. And he's really good at cards, and thus he actually did that in the episode, like his card trick and such, the card trick that he can do, because he's an actual magician. The Toymaker going on to the Doctor of who else he's gambled. Some well-known figures, I want to say. Like, two of them I can think of, where he basically, at one point, gambled with God, and he made him a jack-in-the-box. That was pretty interesting. But, the Toymaker can never, could never, like, mess with God, And also mentioned the Master. And yeah, so basically he gambled with the Master, and basically the Master, according to the Toymaker, the Master was dying, and the Toymaker imprisoned the Master, and obviously he kept him alive by imprisoning him inside his gold tooth, and we get a shot of his gold tooth, but we can also see he has a bajillion teeth, and it's kind of disturbing, but it's kind of cool. Yeah, because, like, he can... Well, because knowing the Toymaker and what he's capable of, he can like, have himself have a bajillion teeth. And so, well, because the challenge is about to begin, even Donna commenting that, he'll probably cheat, the Toymaker. And I love it that both the Doctor and the Toymaker, they're like, no, and the Toymaker saying shame, because, yeah, both of them, they disagree on what Donna says, because the Toymaker can't cheat, and yeah, because, someone who is in charge of a challenge and such, they cannot cheat. You get what I'm saying? And yeah, and that goes for the Toymaker. And well, because the challenge begins, and with the cards and such, and I think it seems like, yeah, the Doctor is winning. But the Toymaker, he does something else by basically, I think, like, packing up his toy shop, the building, and they make a run for it. They get outside, and, well, because all of it, the whole building, which being the Toymaker's toy shop, it gets inside of a box. And, well, they take the box with them back to present day, because, well, they do return back to the unit. And we see that the unit is, basically firing up a laser cannon, I want to say. Yeah, that sounds about right. They're basically going to fire and destroy a satellite out in space that could possibly help out with the situation and such, and because of what's on every single screen. And they do so. They succeed, but Yeah, I think from what I could tell, yeah, that was not enough, even what the doctor told them and when they returned. And he even told Melanie to keep an eye on the box. But it doesn't take too long for the toy maker to be unleashed, and yeah, all hell breaks loose, and kind of in a humorous way, because what the toy maker does next, well, because clearly what he does, and especially to some of the unit soldiers, disturbing, but at the same time it's kind of fun, especially because we get a song, and it's called "Spice Up Your Life." The toy maker in this getup and this wig, and he's dancing around and having a little like tango and such with Kate and Melanie. And even when he was dancing with them, he threw them and kind of like threw them on the ground and such. And by turning a couple of the unit soldiers into balls, and even hold on a second. Yeah, Shirley, she was holding one of the balls. It was a yellow ball, and it had the face of one of the unit soldiers. And Kate asking the doctor what happened to them, and the doctor, quick enough, you know, telling her, "They're dead. I'm sorry." But, you know, you gotta stop what you're doing, because, you know, you're no match for him. Yeah, because I get it, because, and I think that's the best way to put it, because they're no match for the toy maker. They can't do anything. Even when Kate orders them to fire their guns at him, well, instead of bullets being shooted out, it's rose petals. Rose petals being shot out of the unit soldiers' guns, and even the toy maker on the ground making like a rose snow angel. You know, you do that and such in the snow, you know. And it is funny, of course. And, well, because, yeah, with the fun that the toy maker has, and with killing a couple of those unit soldiers, like I said, because he turns some of them into balls, and, well, the toy maker, he once again disappears, and, well, the doctor telling them once again that, you know, there's nothing that they can do because they're no match for the toy maker. Clearly not. But that's not to say that the toy maker can't be defeated, because there can be an alternative. That's what I meant to say. And they start to figure it out some more and such, and leading up to, well, you know, another confrontation between the toy maker, where now he has control over that laser cannon. And, you know, they all step outside. The Doctor, Kate, Donna, and Shirley, and a couple of the unit soldiers. And, well, what happened to the one unit, you know, guy controlling the cannon, and all the others outside? Well, because it was obviously the toy maker's doing, and the toy maker saying they should still be falling. And after he said that, we do hear a thud. They just landed on the ground to their deaths. Oh my gosh. Nice detail, because, you know, hearing that thud and such, oh my gosh, that's dark. And how dark the toy maker could be, you know, humorous and dark at the same time, clearly. And the toy maker, once again, going on about games and such, and with toys, and, you know, how his love, you know, talking about his love for humanity and what it's like today, because with all those apps and ghosting and dating and such, you know. And, yeah, because the toy maker kind of, I guess, you know, has had enough and such. And even the doctor trying to talk to the toy maker and such, you can do good things. Why? And, you know, you're so small and such. And then at one point, the doctor telling the toy maker that, telling him to join him, they can play games for infinity. And even like the toy maker, like kind of shooting, not, you know, almost about to kill them, just shooting at a couple of the unit soldiers, like, you know, boots, up to their boots and such, and the doctor telling the toy maker, "You'll fight us with me!" And, well, sure enough, because the toy maker fires straight at the 14th Doctor, straight through obviously his two hearts, his chest, and the delivery of lines that the toy maker gives, you know, "I played the first game with the first Doctor, the second with the second Doctor, and now I shall play the third game with the next Doctor." And, well, we've come up to the moment where the Doctor is about to regenerate, and if, you know, this is the end, basically, because it's, you know, it is sad. And, well, and it's sweet what happens next. Donna and Melanie, they tell the toy maker that the Doctor's not alone, because they'll be right by his side as he dies, even though he's not going to, he's gonna regenerate. And it was sweet of what Melanie also said, and to the Doctor, that every face he's had, you know, is fantastic. And with the word fantastic. Yeah, and she's right. So, and well, the regeneration is about to begin even when the Doctor says, "Anno Z," and, well, then it just stops. What the heck happened? He's not going to regenerate? Although, this time, something different is happening with the regeneration, and the Doctor tells both Donna and Melanie to pull. Just by each side, pull. And they do so, and well, because the glowiness, you know, the power of regeneration is happening once again. But this time, there's a split. You know, the 14th Doctor and, well, the 15th Doctor right there. They're splitting, and everybody is surprised and shocked and just speechless by what they're seeing. Even the toy maker, because, you know, a couple of them, I think from, Donna and I think Shirley and the toy maker, they say, "What?" And especially the toy maker, you know, "What?" Because of the German accent he has. Because I don't blame the toy maker, because this is just out of nowhere. And, well, because they pull, they push, and they do split out. And, well, because here we have the next incarnation of the Doctor, the 15th Doctor. And the 15th Doctor being played by Ncuti Gatwa. Yeah, and already, because he does not disappoint as the next Doctor, the 15th Doctor, I should say. And they're just happy to see each other, both the Doctors, and in Donna and Melanie liking the new Doctor already. And how, because what happened, and even because Shirley and Kate, they're wondering and asking, how is this possible? What happened? And the 15th Doctor explains that he had bi-generated, and bi-generation, according to the Doctor, is a myth. But apparently, I guess it turned out to be true, that bi-generation is possible. And I remember talking about that with my mom, and because not just me, but my mom too got a kick out of that, because that being a twist, because of the whole bi-generation and them splitting in half and such, you know, two separate incarnations of the Doctors. And here's the thing, because it doesn't hurt for Doctor Who to have twists, as long as they're done in the good/right way. Don't you think? Yeah. And I think, even my mom thought so too, that the twist for this and with the whole bi-generation, it worked and turned out fine. And I remember talking to my mom about this. Could you imagine if that happened to all the other past incarnations of the Doctor, the whole bi-generation? And my mom even said that they'd be hopping all over the universe, pretty much, but probably not in a bad way, you know, but still, just could you imagine if that happened? And because the 14th and the 15th Doctor, they split, well, the two of them, they have each different pairs of clothing, and because they split, the Doctor still has, like, the white shirt and pants and shoes. Actually, no, he doesn't have the shoes. He's barefoot, and still has, like, a vest and such. And for the 15th Doctor, well, he apparently, you know, still has the white shirt, and he has the shoes, and he's also in his underpants. That's pretty funny. And, well, it doesn't take too long for the toy maker, because the toy maker, he's not done, and what the two Doctors do is, well, they both challenge the toy maker. And, well, the toy maker can't get out of this, and what could it be? And, well, the challenge being the first ever game, and the toy maker gets it. The ball, you know, by them throwing and catching the ball, and the one who misses catching the ball is the loser. So, yep, they start playing, you know, the game of catching the ball, and, you know, the two doctors against the toy maker. And, you know, it was bound to happen, of course, where the 15th Doctor threw it to the 14th Doctor, and he's like, "You're on my side," and, you know, "I'm so sorry." I mean, yeah, he didn't do it intentionally, so it's one of those things, you know. And yeah, just like quick pacing and jump cuts of them catching the ball and such, and how they kind of almost nearly missed, you know, just like, ugh, and, you know, they get on the ground, the floor and such, and sure enough, you knew it was coming. Yeah, it was up to the 15th Doctor throwing it at the toy maker. Well, it passes by the toy maker. He misses it, and he becomes the loser. And thus, what happens next for the toy maker? Well, the two doctors, and with what the 14th Doctor says, he hereby banishes him from existence, and he just becomes flat. What happens to the toy maker is he becomes flat and, you know, folded and put back in his toy maker box, you know, that box that he put himself in, and thus he's trapped in there forever. And of course, you know, the unit disposes the box, locks it up and such, and, well, yeah, the toy maker is defeated, but for the 14th Doctor, he still feels down because of the loss of a good chunk of people, the citizens of London and such, because of what happened. And the 15th Doctor and Donna assuring him that it's not his fault. And, you know, these risks, you know, that, like, you know, and the Doctor should know that, you know, these risks can happen and such. And yeah, it was sweet of the 15th Doctor, you know, just basically holding and comforting him and such. Yeah, that was sweet. And, well, they walk off, and, well, the camera pans down, and we see the toy maker's gold tooth, apparently because it must have flung off of him, out of his mouth, and because that golden tooth, it holds the master, and we see a woman's hand, you know, and with red nails, grabbing the gold tooth, and we hear a bit of laughter. Clearly, it's the master's laugh, and, well, that means, you know, we're gonna see the master sometime down the road. It's not the end of the master. And what happens next? Well, the story's not done yet, because, we see inside of the TARDIS, the 14th Doctor giving the 15th Doctor the basics of the console and such. And, yeah, and the 15th Doctor, and to what Donna said, what the 15th Doctor was trying to say was that, you know, the 14th Doctor needs to stop and basically retire. And the 15th Doctor going on to the 14th Doctor about all the past events and, you know, with the adventures and them being war heroes and such, and Ragnarok gods, and, you know, mentionings of the Pandorica, and, you know, the Time War, and some of the past companions like River Song, and a mention of Sarah Jane. And it's nice to see, and, you know, it's obvious that Doctor Who now acknowledging that, well, Sarah Jane passed away, yeah. And of course in memory of Elizabeth Salden, I might be saying her last name wrong, but, you know, the one and only Sarah Jane Smith, yeah. And the 14th Doctor, like, he's just sad to give up on this and, you know, just stop right there with the adventures, and he doesn't know how. But Donna assures her that, you know, she can show him how and such. And, well, the Doctor, you know, he realizes that, yeah, it is time to retire and to hang up, like, his screwdriver and such, and also about the TARDIS, like, what to do about the TARDIS, and if he can have one such. And the 15th Doctor starts to realize that maybe there's something else, and a leftover of the toy maker, I want to say. And he pulls out a hat, you know, he opens a hatch, the 15th Doctor, and pulls out a giant hammer. And basically, you know, they step out of the TARDIS, and what the 15th Doctor does is, and he tells the 14th Doctor that he wins a prize, and by slamming the TARDIS and making a duplicate of the TARDIS. Yeah, so, not only does the 15th Doctor have the TARDIS, but the 14th Doctor does so as well. So good to see them have, especially the 14th Doctor have a TARDIS as well, even though he's retired. And also, the TARDIS came with an upgrade, and especially for Shirley. Anybody in wheelchairs, those things you take out and, with wheelchairs, and Shirley saying that, you really have catched up in the 21st century. Yeah, good thing too. And the 14th Doctor checking out both TARDISes, and he notices one change. It's still the same interior, still the same. Obviously, it would have to be. But one change and one new addition, a jukebox. Yeah, a jukebox. And obviously, this is to go with the 15th Doctor. The 14th Doctor checking out his TARDIS, and it's still the same, but obviously with no jukebox. And the 15th Doctor starting up the TARDIS, and the 14th Doctor, telling the 15th Doctor, you weren't going to leave without saying goodbye, and of course he wasn't. And they say goodbye for one last time, and the 15th Doctor does so with Donna, and, telling her to look after him, no? So, yeah. And thus, the 15th Doctor going on his merry way and continuing, having more adventures out in the galaxies / the universe. And, yeah, it was great to see, and even, because all of them, them watching him disembark on the TARDIS, especially the 14th Doctor, a view that he would rarely get to see. So, yeah, and what the 14th Doctor said on that. And the third and final Doctor Who special is not done quite yet, because we see back at the Noble family house, we once again get an appearance of Sean, Sylvia, and Rose. They're having, family dinner outside of the backyard, and we, of course, see the 14th Doctor, and he becomes a part of the Noble family, even, say, he refers to Rose as his niece, and, well, that would make him an uncle. And even Melanie, she attends to, to the family dinner. And, well, because even the 14th Doctor established to her that, she's part of the family too, and, referring to her as Auntie Melanie. And there is a mention of Wilfred. He technically is present, although we don't see him on screen. He's busy shooting the moles, and we can hear him shooting his gun, and the 14th Doctor put over, a shield to protect the moles, and Donna, saying to him, you love the moles, and him going, I love the moles, I love the moles. And, and Donna asking, what he's gonna do, continue having adventures, and so on, and, the Doctor going on saying, maybe, you never know, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And that was a great way to close the chapter on, well, that incarnation of the Doctor who had returned, did not regenerate, and that, David Tennant, of course, and that's the thing, because even both me and my mom, we figured this out, that probably because the reasoning for that happening and the whole bi-generation and for that incarnation of the Doctor surviving and such, obviously because of the Whovian response of, well, when the 10th Doctor regenerated in End of Time, how clearly, because the Whovians just bawling out of tears because of that. Clearly. So, but like I said, the whole bi-generation, which being a twist, it did work. They managed to make it work, and like I said, twists in Doctor Who, they need to be done in the good / right way, and I think they did. And the same goes for my mom. She thinks the same thing too. And, well, we get one last shot of the 15th Doctor, flying his TARDIS, and, yep, just, a close-up of his face, and we get 2 words, destination, Christmas. And, well, basically, the next time we are to see the 15th Doctor on his first fully adventure is in the Christmas special, the third and final Doctor Who special, a part of Doctor Who's 60th, the Giggle. Wow. Just wow. What a heck of a Doctor Who anniversary special this turned out to be. And for this being the third and final one, the story was great. And with, what was going on with the characters, the return of one of the Doctor's oldest foes, the Toymaker, and this time the Toymaker being played by good old Neil Patrick Harris, the funny and emotional moments, the intenseful moments, the ending to it, and with the whole bi-generation and, enter the new and 15th incarnation of the Doctor, which being Ncuti Gatwa, everything about it, and, with Melanie returning and need I go on? The Giggle was a really good Doctor Who anniversary special. It did not disappoint. And I'm giving The Giggle 10 out of 10. Yes, 10 out of 10 stars for the third and final Doctor Who special for its 60th, The Giggle. And what about you guys? What did you think of the third and final Doctor Who special for its 60th, The Giggle? Did you enjoy what was going on, and with the returning appearance of the Toymaker, what Neil Patrick Harris brought to the Toymaker, all the funny and intenseful and emotional moments, the return of Melanie, and, the twist, which being bi-generation, and, what did you think of, the first appearance of the 15th incarnation of the Doctor? And, Ncuti Gatwa, did he not disappoint you with, on his first start and up until he appeared in his first fully Doctor Who adventure, which being the Christmas special? Yeah, and everything I've had to say about it. And what did you think of my review? Leave comments and give this review video a like, as always. And so, with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of the third and final Doctor Who special for its 60th, The Giggle. More review videos are on the way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video / review. And I'm not done quite yet because, well, you should know what's coming later tonight. The Doctor Who Christmas special, Ncuti Gatwa's first fully Doctor Who episode, him as the 15th incarnation of the Doctor, and which being the Church on Ruby Road. Take care and peace out. And all Z